Welcome back to MKE Gadgets. Today we're going to assemble the TrueTrac aluminum track table system. And I bought this from TrueTrac online and then they shipped it to me. The track system here costed $102 with shipping to my house. Had to buy a piece of plywood 3/4 of an inch thick by 24 inches by 48 inches and 1x4, 2 feet long. I need 8 of those. So this is a TrueTrac Systems aluminum extruded. You get 4 of the small 12-inch pieces of extruded, and then you get a top piece that slides into that. So you have 4 of these setups. And then you get 4 of these 2-footers, top and bottom. Now they come with no holes drilled, so that's what we got to do first. Comes with all the screws you need with big flat heads. So to assemble this, you're going to need a 3/16 drill bit, a drill press, a screwdriver, and a tape measure or a ruler. On one of my previous videos, I showed this centering ruler. And here I found the center of the 12-inch piece and I drew a little line. If you don't have one of these, they're real handy. So on a 24-inch piece, I found the center, scribed a line there, and from that center piece, over 10 inches, I scribed a line over here, which is 2 inches from the end. I did that on both ends. All my track pieces marked and laid out. So we're going to go over to the drill press in the Bridgeport Mill, and we're going to drill all these holes and then deburr them. Let's meet over at the Bridgeport Mill. We're at the Bridgeport Mill. I have my little layout line. And in the center of this extrusion, there's a little line. And that's what you want to drill at the center of that. So I have it all set up. So let's just drill a little hole and see how this works. My drill's a little dull, so I knock out a little burr there. And I have a little deburring tool. So when I'm all done, I'll just deburr that. The smaller pieces rotate on that plywood, so you want to have this really nice and smooth. So let's drill the rest of them. Now that does the 4 small pieces, 1 hole right in the center, and this will rotate on that screw on a piece of plywood. When it's all assembled, you can see that in action. Now we have to drill out all the larger ones. So I'm going to remove my stop here. So now I'm just going to move the extruded part under the 2 center lines, and we'll drill them all out. So after you drill your first hole, you want to make sure that that head of that screw is right in the center of that track. And that is. Now I know what you're thinking, boy, you know, it'd be nice to have a Bridgeport Mill, but I don't have one. And all I have is a drill press. And I have a drill press too. So let's go look at that setup. So at the drill press, I got aluminum fence in the back. And I set this up so the center of the drill bit hits the center of the track. I have my little line there that I laid out with my pencil. I got a piece of scrap plywood to help with the burr on the backside. Let's drill a couple of these. So you don't need a Bridgeport, and you have a little bit less of a burr going through this piece of plywood. And actually it's a little bit faster because you don't have to open and close the vise drawer all the time. You can just slide it back and forth, and the back of the fence will hold your location. I know what you're saying, boy, I don't have a Bridgeport Mill, I don't have a drill press. We could do it with just, a drill. This happens to be a cordless drill I have. 3/16 drill bit. Lay them out the same way, center punch them, and then drill it this way. Okay, I know what you're saying. I don't have a Bridgeport Mill, I don't have a drill press, I don't have a cordless drill. You don't have any of them, you could use this little hand drill. It's going to take you a little while longer, but everything else is the same. Lay it out, center punch it, 3/16 drill. Maybe have your friends come over and help you. We're at the chop saw. I bought 3 pieces of pine. They're 1 inch by 4 inch by 8 feet long. I'm going to cut them into 24-inch pieces. Down on the end I have a stop, so each one will be about the same. So here's a piece of plywood I bought. As I mentioned, it's 3/4 by 24 by 48 inches. The instructions say choose a good piece of plywood because any warpage in the plywood is just going to show and be translated into your final product. So this was about 10 bucks. I sanded it, sanded all the edges, try to make sure that there was no splinters as I use it and assemble it now. But also in the future, I don't want to have a splinter in the hand. So the first thing we do, according to instructions, we go 6 inches from the bottom, 6 inches from the edge, and all 4 corners. Then we're going to screw the 12-inch track in. It's real important that you deburr these the best, because if there's a burr coming out of there, when you rotate it, it's going to kind of hang up on you. And deburring all these pieces, all the holes, that took longer than drilling them. We're going to use a screw that came with the kit. And we're going to do all 4 corners first. The 4 corners, you don't want them screw them all the way down, and you don't want them too loose, so I'm just going to use a Phillips screwdriver here. And just kind of find the right tension. Too loose, too tight. There we go. So with 1 corner done, I'm going to take the other extruded piece and I'm going to screw it down a piece of wood. Take some time and going through the wood. I bought this at Menards and they have 3 grades of wood. This is the most expensive, and it wasn't really that much more expensive. But it has no knots, it's pretty straight, and no warp. So now we use the 3 screws and screw this down to here. 1, 2, and 3. These you want tight. You slide it in here. And now you can see this can rotate and this can slide out, make the whole setup a little bit wider. So I'm going to do the 4 corners, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do the middle 4. So I'll see you in a little bit. Now the instructions say lay out the bottom 24-inch tracks, 13 inches from the end, I'm working off the left, 20 inches, 28, and 35 inches. I made a little scribe line there, and I'm using my raftering square to get them pretty straight. Again, I'm using the screws that came with the kit. Now I take the top board and slide it in the track. Now I just have to finish the last 3, and then we can assemble everything together. So today is all about the TrueTrac system. I bought this kit online, and I'm very happy with the quality of it. You just watch me go through the assembly of it. And you might be thinking, all right, what do you do with this? Well, these boards slide in and out, and it turns this 2x4 foot section into a much larger section. All these boards here are consumables. You're going to saw through them. So it's really designed to work by yourself, to put a 4x8 sheet of plywood or another board up there, and then you use your saws and your routers to work on them. I don't have an 8-footer, but I do have this, I don't know, it's about 4x36. And you can see how it's supported. Now previous, from the same company, I bought the TrueTrac saw kit. And this is really nice. If I wanted to cut this board, I don't need anybody holding it for me and worried about it falling and that piece breaking because it's supported by those consumable boards. So the TrueTrac system I bought separately a while ago comes with a plate that you mount your router to, and it rides in the track. I also bought at the same time I bought the track a plate, and my circular saw rides in there. That's really what this system is made for, is for a saw and a router. That way if you want to cut into your wood all the way through, and you have your boards underneath that's going to support, and it's not going to cut into metal or a good wood table. You have your consumable board there. So this whole system works in conjunction with each other. I'm very happy with the quality. Last year when I bought the track saw kit and the router kit, I was so impressed I went on a website and I looked at some other products they have, and I'm very happy with them. TrueTracSaw.com. You can find them online, and I would recommend them. Very high quality parts. In winter, they travel to all the major cities in the U.S. and they're at the woodworking store. By and say hi to them. This is MKE Gadgets. Please subscribe to my channel. Please tell your friends. We'll see you next time.